Patient began to hallucinate. How does stuff like this happen? I don't understand. 4 detectives died. Like, okay. Four fucking detectives. Like, I can't. I'm beyond pissed.
He's here.
Well, what are you waiting for? Jack, do you know how I managed to stay mayor for so long?
Oh, yeah, I know. Is that what you wanted to talk about?
No, Jack, it's not that. I've stayed in my position because at the very beginning of my career, I learned an important rule. If someone, anyone, friend or enemy, if they want something bad enough, you can hook them with it.
I know just what you mean.
What does Jack Boyd want? A good pension? Doubtful. $500,000. I think that whole nonsense is a myth. The others might think that you just want a paltry sum of money and you'll walk away. I think, no, I'm sure of it. You want what you've always wanted, to remain the chief of police. And only I can give that to you. You are to lead a special operation against Chaffee. I want your team to come down like a hammer on his stinking restaurant. I want you to personally be there and stand in front of the cameras. And I want this fairy shot during his arrest, 12 bullets at least. I want to see his mutilated body all over the airwaves. I expect a perfectly planned operation. And if you keep me happy, you'll keep your job for another 1.5 years. I think we have an agreement, huh?
Not 1.5 years, Mr. Rogers. For the rest of my life.
You think you can dictate terms, Jack?
Yeah. Because if someone wants something bad enough, you can hook them with it.
Fucking hilarious.
I think we have an agreement.
Day 164, December 25th, Wednesday. Christmas. Black handsome hairdresser promoters mistaken for drug dealers. Groundwater spill threatens Freeburg with flooding. Homeless banned from rail station. What that last one say? Watch pot never boils. I think that's the second time Faust didn't come in. I've heard this excuse before, but we're running with 9 on shift B, so I can't be too mad.
1210 in progress.
It was Shift A, right? Yeah. What do we got? Hello, I've been staying at the motel with my sweetie, having a little fun and relaxing, you know. Then we saw a creepy guy with the scar on his face coming out of the next room. I recognized the guy right away because I've seen him like 5 times on TV. His picture is all over the news. He's suspected of murdering a bunch of people. He's still here, but you better hurry. A teacher bit a boy on his face because he was biting the other children. The police are on the phone with the child's mother. Come and arrest this menace or I'll shoot her like a mad dog. Jesus. One of our employees was brutally assaulted on the way to work. The poor man is currently in the hospital. We need 2 officers on his ward within the next half hour. Tell them to give him whatever he wants. Bring him a pillow, buy him a soda, scratch his back, anything. As far as the investigation into this incident, we already know who was behind the attack and we'll take it from here. No, you know what? Fuck you.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Soft Spot.
Yeah. Send another squad. Just trying to focus on basically getting a proficient and well-working police force here. Telemarketer lured Claire Dick to a clinic for a free rejuvenation procedure. She arrived at 2 o'clock and received various injections. Afterwards, her whole body was swollen, her muscles went numb, and her face trembled with unbearable pain. Moreover, the clinic is requiring her to pay the full amount of $500 for the procedure. She doesn't have that kind of money, so they insist she'll have to pay in installments. The dude still got away. Is what it is. I don't have anyone to send to that yet. What do we got? A man was robbed by 2 thugs armed with nunchucks. One came from behind and hit me in the back of the knees, and the other struck me right in the nose. I didn't pass out, but near enough. They took all the money and just walked away slowly. Nah, we'll leave closer. Just in case I need to send backup somewhere. I don't have anyone right now. The gravelly voice of Mrs. Adams just phoned in with a new demand. There's brazen black virgins spreading their infection right there in broad daylight. Remove them from the street. I'm afraid of for our health. Interesting. What am I... Let me come back to that one. A cleaner was mopping her boss's office and found a strange bundle of wires sticking out from under the table. I'm afraid to even move, whispered the woman. Seems like a more serious call. I'll send the paddy wagon just in case. I don't actually think there's a crime being committed, but... 2 guys with nunchucks are calmly walking down the street. Turn on the siren. An elderly woman with Alzheimer's barricaded herself in the room with all the medications and started swallowing everything she could get her hands on. The nurse says they can't break down the door on their own. The girls were only handing out flyers for a hairdresser's salon, yeah. which is funny because that was just in the newspaper. The bomb in question was just a mess of wires, nuts, and bolts pushed into a piece of soap. Apparently someone from the office staff was playing a practical joke. Passerby saw a car drive up onto the curb, knock over a trash can, and then speed off, swerving down the road. You've got to deal with this drunk driving. There's children walking around. No new frames. Sadly.
112.
Iron Rose is almost at 150, which is nice. Shano is 125. Bloomingdale's still at 55. End the day.
Mr. Boyd, there's some armed men on the floor. Mr. Boyd, there's a lot of them.
I didn't catch that. Say again?
Excuse me, Mr. Boyd. It seems I accidentally frightened your secretary. Ah, they publish these stories in a book? My grandfather read me these stories from the old newspapers whenever I was ill. As a child, I was often ill, several times a year. And you know what, Mr. Boyd? You're no Bobby Flash.
I am aware of that.
No. I mean it as a compliment. You want to clean up all the crime in Freeburg, right?
Or so I dreamed, once upon a time.
Do you know why you failed, Mr. Boyd? Do you know why Bobby Flash always wins? Because when you're surrounded by cartoon criminals, the only way to win is to become a cartoon cop. You're no cartoon, Mr. Boyd. You suffer too much. You have too many doubts, too much fear, too much internal conflict. Maybe that's why the people of this city forgive all your mistakes, because you seem like a real human being. If Bobby Flash made a mistake, we'd never forgive him. From Bobby Flash, we want cold, calculated perfection, and this is why I've decided that I don't mind if you keep your job.
What, have you abandoned your insane plan to storm the city hall?
You think it insane? To solve all my problems in a single stroke? Assuming, of course, that we're properly prepared.
Let's say we do burn City Hall to the ground and kill Rogers. What next? You simply walk into the smoke-filled room and take a seat in his smoldering chair?
No, Mr. Boyd. I've been preparing for a year for what happens next. I'll give the prosecutor's office an impressive folder with compromising evidence against Rogers. Information about how he suppressed his political adversaries, finally lost his mind, and plotted to rain blood on the streets of Freeburg. Of course, Troy Starr, faithful City Hall employee that he is, will easily confirm all this. At the same time, my dear Jordan will finally decide to break her silence and tell everyone how that fool Rogers threatened her, forced her to kill all the victims of his sexual violence to ensure their unpleasant stories would never come to light. Of course, everyone will understand that we didn't have time for formal complaints. The night before Mayor Rogers' private security detail would plunge the city into chaos, our valiant police chief Jack Boyd made the difficult decision to arrest the mayor of Freeburg. Unfortunately, Rogers descended into delusion and engaged in a shootout with the police, which ended in his death. We'll have to call an early election to replace the mayor, and of course, it won't be too difficult to win the election fairly.
And then?
You know, Mr. Boyd, most of the facts that I collected in Roger's file are quite true. Anyone who reads through the mountain of evidence would have no doubt that this man was the most vile person in the world. Murderer, a rapist, thief, racist, sexist. Are you a sexist, Mr. Boyd?
I'm sorry?
Are you a sexist, Mr. Boyd? Or perhaps racist?
I try not to be.
That's it. I as well. Although I have long been known under a revolutionary pseudonym, I myself am no revolutionary. I believe in evolution. I am convinced that a city which offers such broad support for racist gangs, a city where people cheer as feminist protests are suppressed, a city which for decades has tolerated corrupt officials, I say this city has no interest in a mayor who unconditionally stands for freedom, equality, and the rule of law. Not yet. But perhaps they are ready for a mayor who tries to stand for freedom, equality, and the rule of law. At least when the situation allows it. That's why you're so popular, Mr. Boyd. The city is ready for people like you and me, for people who are ready to make compromises. I'm counting on you, Mr. Boyd.
And, when will they be ready?
I beg your pardon?
You said that the city isn't ready for a mayor who stands for freedom, equality, and the rule of law. When will they be ready? Who decides when they're ready?
I'll decide.
There's no way in hell I support Rogers. That motherfucker has been sandbagging our career since day one. And that wasn't even the first day of our career. That was just the first day of our retirement. Plus all the crimes he's committed and shit. I know Chaffee isn't necessarily the best to go with, but it's a clear-cut choice. I'm not going to support Rogers on this. Day 165, December 26th, Thursday. Boxing Day. Jim Baton Bakery invites students to Baking Day. Study, sports nutrition destroys brain cells. Collection of ancient Jewish coins recovered from city dump. Wow, everyone's actually here. Thought it was going to be a fight for sure, but nope. Informants, Mr. Boyd, I decided to make this challenge a little easier for you. Unfortunately, our friend Troy Starr can't risk his cover by prying too deeply into City Hall security details, but I found another solution. Over the next 2 weeks, you will be directed to certain people who may possess useful information, useful that is, for planning the assault in City Hall. Some of these people might not feel like talking, so you may need to send more than 1 or 2 detectives, plus some of them might get cold feet and decide not to share their information with us, even try to flee the city, so don't delay. Got you. Inspection. Our inspection turned up multiple violations, which are undoubtedly contributing to the serious decline in the department's efficiency. The penalty for these violations will be 25% of your bank account. If you require further clarification, or if you wish to appeal this decision, please send a formal request to the mayor. You'll receive an answer within 200 business days. You know what? I'm gonna let that go. I'm not even gonna fight that one. Aaron Jensen, unemployed, the former head of City Hall security, dismissed 18 months ago for failure to report to duty. Let's go chase that lead. I want to look at seeing what we need. We need one more detective for Shift A. And I need 3 more police officers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So they're all for Shift A. I'll take the fucking... Yeah, I'll take the hit on the bank account. A shopkeeper reports that a naked older woman just ran past the store. She was barefoot with long gray hair. She looked inside the shop, completely naked except for a blanket thrown over her shoulders. When I offered to help, the old woman just cursed and went on her way. Said Forney on that one. Retiree Hilda Hutchinson reports that several school children are running around in the streets turning over trash cans. Send someone quick and teach these little assholes a lesson. Amy Marband said that a homeless man snuck into the kitchen and ate almost everything there was, including the powdered sugar. We locked him in there. Come and take the asshole to the station. Apparently I can only send one person. Aaron Coleman, pond caretaker. "12 positions are marked on the location where you'll need to place your available forces. Some of these points are poorly protected and are suitable for an assault, while others will stand up to a tank. To figure out which spots are weakest, interrogate people and gather information." Got you. You can send up to 3 fighters to each point based on what they're good at and the information you've been able to collect. An experienced commander who coordinates operations usually heads a small group of fighters during an assault. So I have team leader, assaulter, breacher, sniper, and water assaulter. Okay. Good, good, and good. Inspectors are leaving the police station. Thank God it's finally over. Aaron Jensen, unemployed. The former head of City Hall security, dismissed 18 months ago for failure to report to duty. The main entrance to City Hall is a real thoroughfare. A terrorist could walk through there like nothing. I kept telling them, give me an experienced military force, preferably with large caliber rifles, but nobody paid any attention. Main entrance to City Hall. The pond caretaker. Recently, we tried to replace a rusted out sewer gate in the pond, a ways off from the boat station. We sent in a young diver who panicked in the muddy water. He lost his tank and nearly drowned. I asked for a couple more experienced divers, but nobody showed. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. A ways off from the boat station. So number 1 probably. Main entrance. So number 7. Rolf Engel approached a girl to ask for directions, and she took him for a client who wanted to buy cocaine. I'm up for anything in life, but never drugs. My mother wouldn't even let me try wine. A group of friends got drunk and decided to play a game of darts using knives. One of the guys missed and injured a young female. I'll send 2 squads because it said a group.
11-13 in progress.
Of course. We'll have to wait until we get some more officers back.
11-11 C in progress. 11-11 B complete. We've got a situation.
Knife is still stuck in the girl's side and the wound is bleeding. There's a menacing crowd gathering around the man who threw the knife. Sees the man. The man jumps up on the bar and runs for the exit. Trip him with the nightstick.
415
How did he get away if we tripped him with the nightstick?
complete. 1113 complete.
One was a false alarm.
In progress.
An informant says that 3 women are traveling together and they've come to the city to sell some stolen diamonds. Jewels are hidden up the ass of one of the women. Yeah, okay. I don't believe that for a second. I might send people to do this if nothing pops up. Yeah, I'll send some people. Mr. Boyd, our girlfriends are planning another party, and this time we want something really special. I'll be very grateful if you choose some of your more well-built and sexually inhabited employees. We'll take care of the rest. In case that wasn't clear enough, they'll be asked to perform a striptease. We're tired of these clowns, and the escort agency keeps sending us. Never mind, I don't want to lose any officers there. An enraged man yelling into the phone complaining about a neighbor who is making such a racket in the next house that he can't sleep. This degenerate turned up his speakers to the max again and started rapping. His whole house is shaking. Just remember to be careful with him. The fool thinks he's some kind of gangster, so he brought himself several guns, which he always brings out whenever anyone tries to go talk to him. He doesn't have any sense, so he might start shooting. Assault. Is that the... Yeah. That was really cheesy and sneaky how I was able to just kind of deploy them last second to that investigation. Good job, gentlemen. Day 166, December 27th, Friday. I'm almost up for time, so we're going to end it here. And when we come back, we will continue on, with our remaining days here and planning this assault on City Hall. So, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and say, comment down below, subscribe, share. So, helps me out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.